we will open it for Q&A. I will open a QR code if anyone wants to support our visits around the U.S. It's 100% volunteer, everyone who's involved with it, and
Applause to Adar.
Okay, so I'll open it for Q&A. I do ask to refer for political question because it's not political. It's Daniel's private story.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your courage. And it takes so much courage to tell your story, and so I thank you for that. What would you consider the most important thing that we can do as Jews in diaspora to be able to support Israel right now, other than contributing to different charity organizations? What else do you think we can do?
Okay. So I think, first of all, thank you. And I think the most important thing all of us can do right now is to talk and talk about the truth. And I'm real, and my story is real. And be proud in being a Jew, and do good deeds, and just, be good and continue talking about what's going on in Israel, because it seems like people have no idea what we're going through our whole lives, and not only what they see right now. So this is the main thing, I think, for me and for all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know if you were, and thank you, man, for coming. I don't know if you were at an angle to see it, but when people first saw the paragliders coming in, did they think it was part of the show, or did they think it was, what were people saying?
I saw it, and I was in a festival, dude. I see you paragliding at 6:30 a.m. I think, go to sleep, what are you doing? And now after...
So they thought it's an Israeli person just doing
yeah,
it for fun.
Because people are doing it.
Not part of the festival, just for
No,
fun.
just random people that is up at 6:30 and doing paraglides. I thought it's super weird, but have fun, I guess. And after, like a week after, I understood that they came on those things, and I was like, I saw one, and I didn't make the connection. So if I was, I was thinking about it, like maybe if I knew more
Thank you.
aware.
Yeah, I just want to thank you very much. That was really moving. You know, as a Jew, it's one thing to see it on the news and another thing to hear it kind of blow by blow. And this all happened after you'd all been up all night dancing. So you were exhausted to begin with, right? Which is pretty, well, maybe you weren't. I'm older than you, but, you know. It's when they said you're dancing all night, you know, I mean. And just what you said, the piece that you said about every minute you were learning something new. That was like really, yeah, that's crazy. So thank you for coming and sharing that. It meant a lot to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was wondering, when you were running and you were being fired at the same time, were you trained by the military or given some kind of advice about how to avoid bullets when you're running?
No, but I didn't know why. I did like crisscross. I don't know why. TV.
But the steps
The jump, just like I fell a few times, and I was thinking like stop falling, do something with yourself. I was always thinking about how to do things. It's a lot of adrenaline. You're like Hunger Games, but in real life. So you're really thinking of anything in that moment. I don't think, even now when I'm telling my story, and I don't know how to explain how I was thinking about it, but your instincts, your mind is just running so fast too, with thinking I had like plans, if they're coming from here, what I'm doing, where I'm going, and all of that. So
thinking about naming her show as Survival 101. We had a question here.
That's actually kind of two questions. Do you think that, I assume you were the IDF at one point, okay. Do you think that training helped you just navigate making decisions really fast and getting through them?
I think the IDF, like being in IDF, it has helped me.
Yeah, the training from that, or what trained you for that? Like, that's who you are?
I was a fitness instructor, so I guess my, how do you call it, yeah, my cardio was good.
It sounds like a lot of triage, like, okay, I gotta handle this first.
Like,
Deal with that, everything else.
I can say just be in shape, and in case somebody's coming after you, you know.
Okay.
But no. Yeah, I learned. Therefore, for the military thing, I think that I just knew the enemy. I was a fitness instructor of my combat soldiers in Nahal. 932, it's a unit, it's a battalion, and we were in Gush Etzion, Lebanon, Syria. We took every Shechem. We were everywhere, and I always knew the enemy. Somebody asked me the other day, how did I know they will rape me and take me as a hostage? I mean, I live in Israel. It's not, sorry, but it's not new. And
The second half of my question was, how do you know about the hostage that you live in Israel? The second half was gonna be, how do you know they were taking hostage? But you just said it, you live in Israel.
So I'll say that even being back home in Israel, like not in the field, we knew that if they catch anyone, they will, like any females, they will rape them. We didn't know how bad it was. We didn't know they used sexual violence against men as well and children. But I think any Israeli knew exactly what's going on. They did a really good job in waking all of Israel by shooting missiles to everyone in Israel at 6:30 a.m. So everyone saw everything unfolding. Our worst nightmare was unfolding in front of us, and we all knew. We don't need, unlike
and they
kids in
filmed
America.
everything.
Yeah.
They had GoPros killing, like, you can see everything on camera.
And people are saying it didn't happen.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
broadcasting it live and then denying it.
The only thing I wasn't sure about was if they will see me like in the tree, if they will rape me and kill me, or rape me and then take me as a hostage. So you see what I'm saying? It's, I knew it will happen, but I wasn't sure. Like,
What exactly is going on?
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I just want to say, Baruch Hashem, that you're safe and that may your friends' memories be a blessing. And when you mentioned the Taken 4 with Liam Neeson, you know, the analogy, I mean, it just comes to mind what those 3 movies were all about and how desperate he was saving his daughter, and like movies like that. And the fact that you and your dad lived this and were able to tell this story, I can't thank you enough for what you've just said for everybody here, and the fact that you've been, 75 campuses?
No, Daniel did
Oh.
one.
Oh.
The project did 75.
Oh, the project did 75.
We had
Well,
14 survivors
right.
visiting 75.
okay, well,
campuses.
that's amazing, because I get very, very upset when I see people denying that even though the videos, like you say, are out there, and they still don't even care that the proof is there, and they still are denying and denying. And for you to be here today, I really would like to thank you for sharing your experience. And I'm just so happy that you made the right decisions as you were going along.
me too. Thank you.
2, 3, and 4. And I missed it. Yeah, you.
Thank you. My question is really for both of you, because Danielle, you just went to one, well, here you went to one campus, but your project has gone to 75 campuses.
Yeah.
And we talk about the denial.
Yep.
At these college campuses, how
What happened?
describe that denial. Like
What happened?
No, not what happened. Like how, I don't even know how to ask the question because it's so ludicrous.
It's just
I'll say that.
anti-Semitism.
It's okay.
No,
I didn't,
it's not just anti-Semitism.
it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
It's,
more.
guys, you need to understand that this has been a methodical plan that has been started in 1991.
Yeah.
Okay? The Qatarians, with some other Muslim countries as allies, have been implementing anti-Semitic, anti-America rhetoric into campuses. They've been doing it by funding academic research for people who today are professors, by phrasing it as the Palestinian struggle.
Right.
When you phrase something that way, it's very clear what your answer is going to be. When you get money from someone who tells you go and investigate, especially that, they will find what they want, what the person who funds you want you to find.
Right.
Those are today's the professors who are on campuses.
Yeah.
Those are the people who had in British Columbia, I know it's Canada and not in the US, but still North America, in British Columbia, we had a professor who took a picture from social media of a student who went to reserve duty after October 7th and did a whole presentation about how he's a genocider. This student, an Israeli Jewish student, had to have armed security next to him for 2 weeks. Okay, so this is just like how we got to this situation. What it looks like protesting against survivors. It looks like escorting students to their apartments. That happened in my former campus in San Diego after a BDS resolution. My students had to be escorted. In SLO, also California, we saw a bunch, when we got into the room, thank God it was us and not the survivors, but the room was filled with pictures of the genocide in Gaza. Half of it, we looked it up, was AI generated. We actually went through them, and some of them, you can see, like you have an app that can check those pictures.
I know you said 1991, but I went to school in 1977, upstate New York in Buffalo State, and that was the first time I experienced anything where they had Palestinians. I wore a kippah, and they'd be yelling at me. In the student union, they had desks and tables set up about it, this rhetoric stuff. So this was before
So
1991.
the other half of the question is, thank you for describing what you just did, but how did the denial present itself? Are they saying this didn't happen?
Oh, totally.
For years.
Totally. They told me to my face. Do you want to add a quick?
Yes.
Okay.
And the fact they call it genocide, like in Syria.
Hi everyone, my name's Danielle too. I'm currently going against the DOE right now, the Department of Education in New York City, about all the anti-Semitism you might have seen in the news.
Good luck.
Thank you, and I just wanted to tell you, thank you so much for being courageous, because it's so hard for me. I've been teaching for over 10 years, and I'm currently coming out in America, in New York City, of everything of anti-Semitism I'm dealing with, and trying to face the city, the state, the federal government, the NYPD, and everyone else currently in New York who doesn't believe my story, what I've been through. My sister lives in Israel. She's been through what you've been through, and I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story. And I want to know too, if that's okay, like what's your goal after all of this? Like where do you see yourself in Israel? Like what do you still want to live your life like best you can?
Okay, so 1 second, I'll finish the denial question. I thought you want to add to that.
Oh, sorry.
But regarding the denial, yes, they totally say this did not happen. To your face.
Okay.
They have zero, regrets about it. They, say that it's IDF pretended to be. That's a common thing, a common agenda, a narrative that they've been spreading. That we exaggerated in the numbers. We all know about the sexual violence didn't happen. We all know about that, right? There's no evidence. On the other hand, there's plenty of evidence of IDF soldiers raping Palestinian girls, right?
Sure, yeah.
So that's the narratives. They basically take everything we say, they deny it, and then they try to spin it as something that we do to them.
Right.
What happened in the kibbutzim, what happened in the Nova,
They're doing genocide.
was a
to
genocide.
us.
Was the definition of a genocide shooting someone? She's taught.
Innocent people, they're running after us, and they call us. We are making it genocide.
No.
This is insane. I wish all the people that saying those stuff were there in the festival with me, and then I want them to say. They even killed Muslim people.
Yes.
They raped
Right.
girls. Like they did everything.
They still have in captivity 2 Bedouin Muslim Israeli citizens that they haven't returned.
And 1-year-old baby.
Right.
Returned 1 in captivity. You want to answer the question? There was one there, one here. I see you.
Yep.
So, what's your goal? Do you want to go back to live in Israel?
Yeah, I'm going back to live in Israel. My family's there, and my life. But my life kind of stopped from October 7th, and I'm trying to figuring out what my goal is, and now I'm here with Dar, which is pretty amazing. I knew it's important. I knew it's what I want to do right now, and it takes a lot from me too. And I actually want to continue maybe contributing to the fact. Again, people are denying and all of that, and maybe my voice is powerful than what I think.
It
In
is.
Israel, we-
It is.
so in
Your
Israel,
voice matters.
yeah.
Just know
So
that.
in Israel, it's not. We just like all there, and so here I understand.
You stand out.
Yeah.
Educate.
Maybe this will be my goal, and heal. I'm healing too right now.
Toda Rabba.
Hmm?
Toda Rabba.
There's one question in the back and then you.
My question's a little more lighter than what we've just been talking about, but, kudos to you. It's very impressive what you're doing, and even coming into America and doing it, and leaving your family and traveling around. I mean, that's ultra impressive. My question is more practical, because your story is fascinating. I have 3 kids, and they can't, everybody with the cell phones, the power charge is like a freak out. Like if I take the cord, they come yelling at me, and like you're telling a story that you're running like everywhere, and your phone's in your hand the whole time, and you're not missing a beat with your phone, like you're on Instagram and everything. And like, are you freaking out that your charge is gonna run out at any point? Like, is there any of that? Because they freak out if I take the charger in the house. So, like, what was that all about? Is that on your mind at all? Like, what if I'm here for 20 hours? Like,
Yeah. I wasn't on my phone at the festival. I had no
so it was
pockets.
charged. So
I
it was
had no
charged.
pockets, so I had to leave it in the camping area, which I was thinking about it after I said to myself like, wow, this is not
Like you.
no, it is like me to leave the phone, but it was charged like all the way. I had a lot of battery in case something happens, and
So I guess God planned
Well,
that.
Baruch Hashem.
maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey,
So I had battery, and when the reception worked, it was good, and
Good for you.
Okay, so I'm sorry, we need to finish the Q&A, but we are here to answer any questions you have after. Okay, we're not leaving. We're just gonna do a short closing thing, but we're here, so.
Hi everyone, I'm Miriam.
hi, Miriam.
Just wanted to kind of end off this evening, but obviously we're still here. You could, please do come up and ask your questions, make yourselves comfortable. It was interesting because I was speaking to someone that was going to come, and she sent me a message. She didn't end up coming tonight. She's an Israeli, and I just want to read her message out loud because I feel like it's really relevant, and it kind of, to me, this was what this is all about. So I'm just gonna pull it up real quick. She says, one second. She says, "Hi, dear Miriam." It's me. After doing some thought, I realized it would be extremely difficult for me to relive that event all over again. My prayers and thoughts are with her and to everyone else in need. It would be inspiring to have meetings in the community and discuss with coffee how we could connect and be one big family and spread unity all around. The unity between us above all differences, save and protect us from any harm. People these days really need to feel like they belong to something safe and supportive, loving and kind. So to me that was pretty much everything. I felt like there's so many of us that are kind of going through, especially on social media, you're sitting by yourself, and meanwhile we're all here together. It kind of feels like silly that we're all alone in this when we're really, we're all here. So to me, the message I would say to kind of take from tonight is I think sometimes you kind of feel like, okay, those feelings of it's like, it touches you and you feel like, okay, that's good enough. And you kind of leave it there like, okay, I'm good, I'm gonna put this down, I'm gonna come back tomorrow. And I think I would urge everyone to kind of think of something that you'll use that energy and kind of channel it somewhere. Maybe it's an extra mitzvah, maybe to put a mezuzah on your door and show that you're unapologetically Jewish, or light Shabbat candles, or even just call someone that might be lonely, a grandparent, a friend, someone, just say hi to someone. Just take that energy and do something with it. Don't just sit there and just let it like mellow and just kind of like move on to the next thing. Take it and really use it for something special. And I think that's really kind of what this is all about, is kind of taking that energy and not like really use it. And I think that also like helps build community. If you're like feeling, you're in that place, I don't know, I'm not encouraging anyone to go on social media, but we've all been there, and you're scrolling through and you're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. There's like so much out there, especially like, and you're just like, you have no voice. But I think the answer isn't really to go and like respond to all the comments. I think the answer is really to go call someone, make someone's day, do a mitzvah, like really do something with that energy, and that really kind of spreads all around. So I would say a few things. There's a few Shabbat candles in the back of the room. You feel free to take one if you want to. Light Friday evening, just kind of bring that light into your home, take that energy and really do something with it. We have a sponsor here at Chabad that's happy to sponsor 20% if anyone wants to get a mezuzah for their home. He's ready to contribute 20% towards that mezuzah. And really just, honestly, like really just be there for your friends, be there for your community. I think
say something about it.
Go for it.
I don't know if anybody will find it. I guess you will find it interesting that when my dad went outside the house, my mom was really worried, of course, and but she put in the car tzedakah box and chitat. So
Explain chitat or give salad. Chitat. Can you explain chitat?
Yeah, sure. So it's a book that has the Torah in it. It has Tanya, and it has a bunch of like different like holy books inside one
Tanakh.
one book. Yeah.
The
It's
Tanakh.
more than the Tanakh. It's
It's
very
more.
specific Chabad book.
If anyone wants to see what it looks like, we have a few here. But it's like this small little, it's not too big, but it has a lot in it.
So yeah, and I think the rabbi said it's if you go with them too, you'll be safe no matter where you go. So she felt that we will be safe. Like she knew we will be safe because we believe.
It makes the space of holiness now. You have the books of the Torah, you have something that you can do a mitzvah with. Now the whole space that you're in, it becomes a holy space. That gives a certain amount of protection. Kind of like a mezuzah protects the home. So this kind of like I know people keep it in their cars, kind of.
I also like to add one more thing that I just bought, something that I gave to the Chabad. There's a book that's called "And Every Person Was Someone." It's 1,200 pages. It's 2,400 words a page, and there's only one word on the page for Jew. The word Jew 2,400 times on each page. And if you do the math, 1,200 times 2,400 is 6 million. This book is only about the word Jew 6 million times in the book. And it's on Amazon, and I'm getting it for gifts. I'm giving it to like all the people, birthdays or whatever. This is my gift to them. And I think everybody here, if you go on Amazon and get it for yourself, and maybe you'd be able to get it to also for your friends or whatever, it's the most, I can't get over the book itself. And when I'm hearing Danielle talking about her, I just think of this book and how when you think about 6 million people died in the Holocaust, one line could be like a family. The whole page could be a whole village. 1,200 pages of it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's really incredible.
It's an incredible book, and every person was someone.
So we just want to kind of end off this part. Obviously, you could still, please do come up with your questions. We'd love to kind of hang out. But just to kind of remember all those that passed. We're specifically on October 7th, but there were so many soldiers and people afterwards. I think the number is 1,160 as far as I know. So we have over here 12 candles. We just we're gonna light the candles in their memory. And I guess as we're lighting the candles, you just think to yourself, maybe something you could take on, something like concrete, like that. Like, not like I'm gonna come think about it later. Like, really think about something, because I do think it's really important. We're gonna ask Daniel if you mind lighting the candles for us.
Of course.
Yeah. Just got a cat out of the Yeah, a new one.
Oh, can I get your like? I'm the secretary at Farewell. I'm supposed to be recording everybody's names. How are you?
Nice to see you today.
My daughter
You too. I remember you from Quebec. Can I get your first and last name and phone number?